Get up, stand up, show up. That is the catch cry this NAIDOC week as Indigenous communities across the country celebrate the history, culture and achievements of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples.
The theme this year, Get Up, Stand Up, Show Up, is a call to action for everyone, for mob and allies.
It's really deadly to see that there's so many different communities that come together to fight for justice because ours is entwined together.
And Australians being urged to get involved in the fight for change as some of the key figures in that fight were recognised at the NAIDOC Awards over the weekend.
You know, treading the boards, fronting the camera and waggling the finger and stamping the foot and pointing the bone at irresponsible behaviour. It's a role of an elder in my unique position.
Uncle Jack Charles, the grandfather of Indigenous theatre, was honoured with the Male Elder Award for his work on the stage and screen, his mentoring of prisoners through the Archie Roach Foundation, his advocacy for fellow survivors of the stolen generations, and his leadership to countless First Nations people.
I always say it, you know, I'm comfortably up myself and full of it, and that you have to be if you're going to be a leader, extraordinaire in your community.
Indeed. Please welcome Leader Extraordinaire, Uncle Jack Charles.
Thanks very much for having me.
You must be very proud of the award. And what makes you most comfortably up yourself?
Being, 2 centimetres short of 5 foot. And, being short, small people have big mouths and etc. But I have an urge to be, a leading black light in my community. It's always been, ever since I've come out of prison, 2005, and I've tried to make, inroads back into prisons as an Aboriginal elder, as a mentor. Much like my dad, which I found out on SBS's Who Do You Think You Are?
Yes.
So I'm following in his footsteps, his DNA. Hilton Hamilton Walsh is in my mind. I never knew who my father was.
Right.
I would never have gotten this information if I hadn't have had such a high profile. So I'm very fortunate that the Who Do You Think You Are mob, plucked me out of, to give me that lost, hidden, denied heritage.
Yes, yes. And what a beautiful thing that is. I've also done the show and it does really open your eyes to, what was and where we are now.
Yeah.
Uncle Jack, this year's theme for NAIDOC is Get Up, Stand Up, Show Up. How important is NAIDOC Week and what does it mean to you?
Oh, it's gotten bigger. It's a bigger event now. And having the National NAIDOC Awards here in Victoria at the Convention Centre on Saturday night, it's even bigger, I feel, because the week before, Pam Pedersen Nichols had roped me in to choose this year's Victorian NAIDOC Award winners.
Wow.
I was wearing my sash from 2019 as the patron saint of the NAIDOC, Victorian NAIDOC Awards and that. And so we picked the winners and we announced them at the museum on Saturday night and had a bit of a soiree, a bit of a do there and that, it was just great. And I found it funny that one of the sports people, sportswomen of the year, again, this year, 2022, like 2029, was a boxer.
Yes.
A boxer. That's fantastic. Yeah.
And I should thank you for putting your teeth in for tonight. Last time you were here, you didn't have them in.
Totally forgot.
The only person who's done the project without their teeth in, and it'll remain that way. Only you.
Pricey had a crack.
Pricey had a crack, but yeah. On the election night, Anthony Albanese, the new Prime Minister, committed in his victory speech to the Uluru Statement of the Heart and for representation of an Indigenous voice to Parliament.
Yes.
Are you hopeful that change is coming?
Oh yes, yeah. Choco Edwards and myself, Teljum Edwards, watched that, and that hit us like a ton of bricks. So yeah, there's change in the air. It's going to happen. Our own government here in Victoria has made so many moves, bold moves, great moves. I gave evidence, the first one in the hot seat at the Royal Commission into the Traumatised Stolen Generation at the Gertrude Street Charcoal Lane restaurant. And that was a hoot to be in that hot seat. And then I'm honoured, in the 2022 senior Victorian, senior National NAIDOC Award winner, Elders Award, you know. That's a hoot. But there's other things going on too.
Well,
you know.
speaking of other things, because it has been a massive week for you, it's going to continue to be a big week, but you've got a big weekend coming up as well, because you have a show in Melbourne this weekend.
Jack Charles, a night with Uncle Jack Charles at the Collingwood Town Hall.
What does a night with you
It's
involve?
That shows a hoot.
There's a lot of hoots in your life.
Oh, yes, hoot, hoot. My manager had developed this program, and I get to unleash into the first act and the second act, unleash my unfulfilled wet dreams and my successes and all that kind of stuff and that, you know. And then we have guest artists singing. Cass Savage, perhaps in the first, and Miller Benson hosting it.
Oh, yeah.
And for the first one in opening up, putting mums back on seats at the Malthouse Theatre in the open stage outdoors, we had Baker Boy closing the show.
Oh, wow. Just what a
There you
hoot.
go. Yes,
Definitely a hoot. For
no,
ticket
I've done
details,
well and doing well, and I continue to do well. And doing something like this, you know, on your program, allowing me to unleash for these 5 seconds or so, you know, is just fantastic.
you
for me,
very
you
accurately called out the tightness of our format. Well done. For ticket details on A Night with Uncle Jack Charles, head to the links page on our website. Would you please thank Uncle Jack?